Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, dark forest. The path ahead is unclear, cloaked in mist, and with each step forward you're filled with both curiosity and hesitation. You're searching for something important, something vital, but you can't quite put it into words. All you know is that something feels off, like an invisible weight pressing on your soul. A deep, unshakable sense of emptiness lingers within. Perhaps you've felt this before, that vague but persistent feeling of being disconnected, lost in the very life you're living. You go through the motions, following the path laid out before you, yet something inside whispers, "This is not it. Something is missing." Carl Jung, one of the most influential minds in psychology, understood this feeling better than most. He spent his life exploring the hidden depths of the human psyche, uncovering the forces that shape who we are and why we feel the way we do. According to Jung, this inner void isn't a flaw. It's not a sign that you're broken or that something is wrong with you. Instead, it's an invitation, an urgent call to embark on the most important journey of all, the journey toward your true self. In this exploration, we'll uncover the real meaning behind the inner void. We'll discuss why so many of us feel lost and disconnected from ourselves, and how Jung's revolutionary insights provide the key to understanding and overcoming this existential emptiness. The last revelation, the most powerful of them all, may change the way you see yourself and the world forever. Take a moment to reflect. How much of your life has been shaped by others, your beliefs, your goals, even your sense of identity? How much of it is truly yours? How often do you question whether the person you present to the world is your authentic self, or just a role you've learned to play? Jung believed that one of the primary sources of this internal void is the disconnection between who we truly are and who we think we are supposed to be. Society, culture, family expectations, all of these shape us from an early age, conditioning us to fit into predefined roles. We learn what is acceptable and what is not. We are praised for certain behaviors and discouraged from others. Over time, we construct an identity based not on our true essence, but on external validation. Jung called this outward-facing identity the persona, the mask we wear in public, the version of ourselves carefully crafted to gain approval and avoid rejection. But here's the problem. The more we invest in this mask, the further we drift from our authentic self. When the gap between the mask and the true self grows too wide, we feel it, an emptiness, a restlessness, a sense that something essential has been lost. But what exactly have we lost? The answer lies in what Jung called the shadow self. Our shadow is the collection of everything we've rejected, suppressed, or denied about ourselves. The emotions we were told were unacceptable, the desires we buried out of fear or shame, the aspects of our personality that didn't fit the mold we were given. But these hidden aspects don't disappear. They linger beneath the surface, shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and choices in ways we don't even realize. The greater the disconnect between our conscious self and our shadow, the stronger the feeling of emptiness. We try to fill this void with distractions, work, relationships, achievements, entertainment, but nothing seems to truly satisfy us. No matter how much we achieve, how much we acquire, or how much we keep ourselves busy, the void remains. But what if the void isn't a curse? What if it's not something to escape, but something to embrace? Jung believed that this emptiness is actually a gateway, a signal that it's time to turn inward, to face what we've been avoiding, and to integrate the lost parts of ourselves. He called this process individuation, the path to becoming whole. Here is where the journey truly begins. True self-discovery isn't about creating a new identity or reinventing yourself. It's about uncovering what has always been there, hidden beneath layers of conditioning and fear. So, how do we begin this process? The first step is awareness, learning to see beyond the mask. Ask yourself, what parts of yourself have you suppressed to fit in? What emotions have you denied because they made you uncomfortable? What desires have you buried because they seemed too unconventional, too risky, too unacceptable? Jung once said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." This means looking into the places we've been afraid to explore, not with judgment, but with curiosity. The parts of us we've labeled as weaknesses, flaws, or even sins, What if they hold the key to understanding ourselves more deeply? Facing the shadow is not easy. It requires courage and a willingness to question everything we thought we knew about ourselves. But it's only by integrating these hidden aspects that we can begin to fill the void, not with external distractions, but with our own truth. And here's something even more profound. The void is not empty. It's full of untapped potential. What if the emptiness you feel isn't a lack but an opening, a space waiting to be filled, not with illusions, but with the essence of who you truly are? In the next part, we will explore the incredible power of the unconscious mind and why the key to transformation lies not in escaping the void, but in embracing it fully. Think about a dream you once had, one that felt so vivid, so real, that for a moment you were convinced it was the truth. And then you woke up. The images dissolved, the sensations faded, and reality set in. But what if I told you that much of what we believe to be real, our identity, our desires, even our fears, is just another dream? A dream shaped not by our true selves, but by unconscious forces that have been influencing us from the shadows. Carl Jung believed that to truly find ourselves, we must first understand the hidden forces that shape our thoughts, emotions, and decisions. He argued that the unconscious mind is not just a storage place for forgotten memories. It's a living, breathing force that shapes our reality in ways we barely understand. And until we become aware of it, we are not truly in control of our own lives. So what exactly is the unconscious, and how does it create the feeling of being lost? Imagine an iceberg floating in the ocean. The part above the water, the part we can see, represents our conscious mind. It's the part of us that thinks logically, makes decisions, and interacts with the world. But beneath the surface, hidden from view, lies a massive structure. This is the unconscious, the vast and powerful realm where our deepest fears, unprocessed emotions, forgotten memories, and suppressed desires reside. Jung divided the unconscious into two parts, the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. The personal unconscious is unique to each of us, shaped by our personal experiences, memories we've buried, emotions we've ignored, and traumas we haven't fully processed. Every time we suppress a painful truth, every time we deny a part of ourselves, it doesn't disappear. It sinks into the depths of the personal unconscious, where it continues to influence us in subtle and often destructive ways. Then there's the collective unconscious, a concept that sets Jung apart from many other psychologists. He proposed that beyond our individual experiences, there exists a deeper, shared level of consciousness. It's made up of universal symbols and patterns inherited from the generations that came before us. These symbols, what Jung called archetypes, shape our instincts, our beliefs, and even our sense of identity. Archetypes appear in myths, religions, and stories across all cultures, showing up in different forms but carrying the same fundamental meaning. The wise old man, the hero on a journey, the mother figure, the trickster, the shadow. These aren't just characters in stories, they are parts of us. They live within our unconscious, influencing the way we see the world and ourselves. When we feel lost, when we feel disconnected from who we are, it's often because we are trapped in an unconscious narrative that isn't our own. Think about the expectations placed upon you since childhood, the messages you received about what it means to be successful, to be worthy, to be a good person. These messages didn't come from nowhere. They were passed down, shaped by culture, family, and the collective unconscious. You were handed a script, a role to play in a story that was already written before you even had a say in it. But what if that story doesn't fit? What if the role you've been playing is not the one you were meant for? This is why so many people feel an existential void. They're trying to live according to a script that doesn't align with their true nature. They chase achievements, relationships, material success, believing these things will bring fulfillment, only to find that something still feels incomplete because deep down, their soul knows the truth. They're living someone else's dream. Jung believed that the key to escaping this cycle is to wake up, to become conscious of the unconscious forces shaping our lives. He called this process individuation, the journey of integrating the hidden parts of ourselves, breaking free from inherited narratives, and stepping into our authentic identity.